From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your North Coast Neighborhood Forecast.
Everything Medical has been your complete source for medical supplies since 2007. Our 10,000 square foot showroom has the largest selection of home medical equipment in the North State. We have what you need. Everything Medical, Athens Avenue, Reading.
Well, after about a day and a half of being offline, it is great to be back. I'm glad to be able to give you these updates on a regular basis online. Everywhere. You know where you can find me, right? Of course, you got the Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. You can get the 24-hour channel, weathernorcal.com. Of course, I got the Weather NorCal app, YouTube. You can check out the latest videos as well. So let's get right to the forecast. This is what Trinidad looks like. Still a lot of clouds in place here, a lot of the low clouds and fog, but no big changes is what we're expecting here for the coast, as we'd expect, right? But the cooling trend, that's what we're talking about for the inland areas and for Trinity County. It's going to be a nice cooling trend at that. And that starts tomorrow, but you're not going to notice it really until the beginning of next week. So when I say that, it's going to be much cooler for next week. Let's take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for tonight. Still smoky and hazy out there, unfortunately, for the inland areas and even for parts of the coast as well. But temperature is still rather warm for your Saturday, mid-90s inland. And for Trinity County, could get up to about 100 degrees for places like Weaverville and Hayfork. And even Lewiston, but still a hazy, still a little bit smoky out there as well, but dropping down to the low 60s for those overnight lows. So again, we're talking about the trend, because on Saturday, still about 100, right? But look at the temperatures dropping down low to mid 90s. We'll certainly take it, and that's through all of next week before we probably see another slight uptick, not a major one, but a slight uptick as we go into that next weekend. So at the end of next week, into that next weekend, not this upcoming weekend. It's going to be pretty hot this weekend. So we take a look at Futurecast and take you through the day on Saturday. So here's Saturday morning. Looks like we may see a little bit of clearing in some spots here, but we'll call it mostly cloudy, partly to mostly cloudy skies here for both Saturday and Sunday along the coast. In fact, it looks like more of that marine layer coming in Sunday afternoon, but more in the way of clearing skies, minus, of course, the haze and smoke that we'll see. Now we'll talk about the wave heights because, of course, many of you are boatermen and boaters and fishermen out there. So you want to make sure you know those wave heights. Looks like we're not seeing much change. Basically staying around 6 to 7 feet, especially as you start heading out. Obviously not as bad as you get closer to the shore. So here's your marine forecast for your Saturday. Those north winds at 5 to 15 knots, waves to the northwest at 4 feet at about 5 seconds. And there you can see no advisories are in the forecast here. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast tonight. We've got some fog along the coast. We've got smoke making its way into especially those inland valleys. I've mentioned this before, but typically what happens is you get that smoke coming in from the fire in southwest Oregon. It makes its way down. And what happens is the cooler air sinks down to those inland valleys and brings the smoke along with it. And that's why we see that smoke, especially in the morning hours. And then it tends to dissipate as we take it through the afternoon, but still hazy, still a little smoky out there as well. But temperatures should be in the mid-90s for places like Hoopa and Willow Creek. But of course, for the coast, look at those temperatures in the low to mid-60s. There's your 7-day forecast. Hazy, smoky for both Hoopa and Weaverville for the next few days. But look at the drop in the temperatures, especially inland. Upper 80s, low 90s through all of next week, looking pleasant. And there you can see for Weaverville, we're down to the low to mid-90s starting Monday and keeping it that way all the way through the end of next week. And how about that 7-day forecast for Eureka? Well, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures actually could get a little bit warmer on Monday, Tuesday, around 65 degrees, but back down to 62 to 63 for Wednesday through Friday.